Hello, my sisters. Hello, how are you doing to everyone? Hello and welcome to PLM with Denise Jenkins, coming to you live from the nation of recovering addicts. First and foremost, let's thank God for this vision. Let's thank Him for being a God of all generations and a God of a second chance. Our Father, the one and only great I am, and thanking Him for His Son, Jesus Christ. And if you are here, then you can feel Him in the atmosphere. We also thank Him for the Holy Spirit who warms us up on the inside when the cold, cruel world has treated us so bad on the outside. It was laid on my mind, on my heart, and deep in my soul to share this podcast with you. My intentions today were to go to the City Hall for the meetings that we have every second Thursday and fourth Thursday out of each month. The topic here is how Savannah, Georgia is repeating history, how history is being repeated in Savannah, Georgia. And not only in Savannah, Georgia, but around the world. Here in Savannah, Georgia, we have a very bad issue with young people carrying guns, staying out all time of night, and shooting and killing others, other teenagers, and elderly people, that is, as well. Elderly people who get Social Security checks are being robbed, left for dead after they've been beat. Yes. And we have so many unsavory teens in this city that is definitely going to bring down the value of the city. And a lot of these cases with these young people shooting guns results because of the fact they have nothing to do. Most of them have dropped out of school and they don't have a job. So they have nothing to occupy their time during the day or all through the night. This epidemic in Savannah, Georgia is critical and crucial. And the insane part of it is that the council here keep redoing the same thing. They keep redoing it and using the same tactics. What has to be done here is a very good and hard look at the authorities in these areas that are heavily populated with teens who have no preferences, no skills, no jobs, or no education, nothing to do with all that time. A kingdom without a king is a unruly place. Now they're coming up with curfew for these children so that we could be safe in the city. Just a couple of weeks ago, two teens lost their lives. At the beginning of summer, around July, the mall got shot up and a grandmother died later on because it scared her so bad. No one is used to the mall being shot up in Savannah, Georgia. This is an awful, awful thing going on here in Savannah, Georgia. And the reason why I say this all the time, they got to check the police officers that you got on staff. If those officers are assigned to an area and that area isn't getting any better, then they're not doing their jobs. It will come a time when citizens will take on their jobs and become vigilantes. I am a 52-year-old mother of four and grandmother of two granddaughters. That man that was killed at least 5 days ago was 72 years old, meaning if he had children, he got grandchildren and he has great grandchildren as well. Now, this is something serious. The curfew part is the part where I'm going to tap into you with the curfew. Many, many years ago, a lot of cities in Georgia, a lot, had sundown cities. That was their AKA, sundown, where if you were black and you got caught outside at night, they would lynch you, they would kill you in Georgia. That was a curfew, okay? Now that is coming back. Why is it coming back? We have no black history classes to teach these people their value. They have no understanding and are so disrespectful, they have no one to teach them their value. It is not a good thing. Also, how history is repeating itself around the world is with ISIS. A young man from Mexico took his own life at an ISIS camp. Now, when slavery was in part here, around the world, some of the slaves would jump off the boat into the ocean. The Indians that they had bound jumped off the boat into the ocean. And they were not the only ones who did that. A lot of indigenous people jumped off of those boats and committed suicide before they will be captured and put into slavery. They may not have spoke the same language, but they had the same feelings and they knew what was happening. They knew that they had been captured. For what reasons they did not know, but they did know that some of their ancestors did not come back ever, ever, ever again. And when this young man took his life in ISIS on one of their camps, it repeated history. History is being repeated all around the world where blacks are killing blacks. Why is that? Because of the Jim Crow letter. That's why that is. So here in Savannah, Georgia, City Council today had a meeting coming about. I did want to make it. I wanted to make it so badly. But with my condition of glaucoma, it takes, oh my gosh, a toll on my eyes and it hurts so bad. I laid down so that I can get rest, so it can stop and I can go. I looked at the time, it was way past time. But I have you. I have the internet and I have the world and I have a voice and I can voice it. History is repeating itself here in Savannah, Georgia and around the world. If we come together to make a difference, then maybe, just maybe, it'll be a difference. If we all went down to city council, down here to city hall, to these meetings that they have, and we voice our opinion about our fears and the challenges here in Savannah, Georgia, it'll be a change. If we voice our opinion and tell the city council, the city manager, the chief of police, and all who ride with these people, with authority that at our age of being elderly or half of 100, there it is with me, that we fear for our safeties in these areas. The street I live on have no speed bumps. The people come down this street hauling tail every day. Now, if you take a look at 52nd Street, East 52nd, they have speed bumps on their street because they got tired of blacks riding down their streets with the loudest music and hauling tail. They have animals, they have children, they have soul, and they got tired of it. So they got together and made a difference. On Quaco Road here in Savannah, there were so many deaths, so many accidents that claimed the lives of people, moms, dads, their little children, their grandparents, and other relatives, until they got together and they made the city put lights up there, four-way lights. That was the same thing here on the west side of 52nd Street, right there where Durin Middle School, the old Durin Middle School was. There were so many accidents there where people will just fly into other people's houses with accidents until they got together and made a difference. Now there's been four-way lights there ever since I've been a little girl. People have to come together to make a difference. Because if we do not come together to make a difference, things will remain the same and they will get worse. These children do not understand that the day is the day for change. City council need to understand that the tomorrow that these people are creating will be the tomorrow that the other ones that come behind them will live in. I live here on east of Savannah with an autistic son. Every day, daily, around this area, there are unruly, disrespectful teenagers that be outside all times of night. I can remember when I was a child, there was a commercial that would come on WTOC here in Savannah at 11 o'clock, and it would say to the parents, "It's 11 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?" My mother knew where I was. I was in the house and I was asleep. Holding their parents accountable for what they're doing, that's a great idea because people are not going to go and give up their jobs and their careers because they have unruly teenagers. In the inner city, statistics is the Bible for these type of people. Statistics has written out their whole life because of the ones who came before them. So this is just a repeat every generation, a repeat like they're clones with different faces. But they have the same mentality, the same attitude, and the same results will keep happening until the authorities take action and do their jobs the way they are supposed to be done. A lot of these police officers that patrol this area are related to the people in the areas. Oh, they didn't just hop out of someone's imagination. No, they grew up here. So they know these kids' parents. Some of them have affairs, hidden affairs with the women. So that's why when we call the police, we are calling the police on the police. That is not fair when we call the police and in mid sentence they walk away from you. That's what happened to me when I was telling Officer Henley what was happening when he was not on around here. He literally walked off my porch. And the reason why he did that is because he knows the people in the area. A white officer told me out of his mouth, "Why can't you get your family? Don't you have family?" was his words. "Don't you have any family that you could call?" A white officer said that to me. I tell you, the Lord could take the breath out of my body. I looked at this man like, I can't believe you are wearing that uniform and that badge. You do not honor your badge. You honor your friendship with the people. And that is not cool. And that is why history is repeating itself. Why you think every other week, every month, when you turn on the news, a black man was being killed in front of people? These officers didn't buck. They did not stop doing what they were doing. You want to know why? Because they were the same officers on the force. Other officers started to repeat it. If that doesn't say corruption to you in city council, I don't know what it says. Because to me, that is exactly what it says. When President Obama addressed the way blacks were being treated in Texas, being stopped all the time, guess what happened? Change. When Sandra Bland made her Facebook appearance and she talked about how blacks were being treated in Texas, they took her life. And then now, when you turn on the news or you go back into the archives and see the news podcast, what they said was Sandra Bland was right. Sandra Bland was right. So I am Sandra Bland. On the east side of Savannah, Georgia, the police do not give a damn. And throughout Savannah, Georgia, here we have a place called Montgomery Landings that's pushed back and set apart. And there's high crime going on over there. High crime. People are dying. And that is where the two teenagers that were only 13 years old and a 72-year-old man was killed. Marinate on that. Now, we have a black woman in office, and she says that soon there will be a curfew ordinance in order. Now, let me tell you something. Shalina Jones. Um, it will be insane to use the same officers to carry out this mission. It will be insane. Insanity has a definition, and it simply is to repeat the same thing, expecting results, different results. Mm, that is not what we have here. And history is repeating itself here. The young black man is killing the older black man. The young black woman is disrespecting the older black woman. And the Thomacinas and Uncle Toms aren't doing anything but telling us to be cool. It's going to be all right. It is not going to be all right until someone changes the staff, until someone get some real police officers on this force, then we'll have a difference. I was talking to a health operator the other day on the telephone who was making plans to come to Savannah, Georgia. And he asked me, how is Savannah and where could I go at in Savannah to enjoy myself? I had no idea where he could go because our tourist is being killed down on River Street and Bay Street. The police patrol isn't cool. This city is a town, a college town, and a retirement town. The teenagers in the inner city are awful here. Tourists have lost their lives here, being robbed by young blacks. Okay? And that is what's really going on here. I had no idea what to say to him of where he can go to be safe. So if we can't get safety here from the authorities here, we need to write our senator and our governor because that needs to be passed. That law of curfew needs to be passed because we are living in a city with children who do not care and who are not afraid of the law or their parents. And they do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And the reason why they can do it because the police are not doing their jobs. When we saw the news about the 5 black officers that beat a black man to death, that was it for me. A lot of people want the police to be replaced with drones